fresh peppers, fresh tomatoes. Come outside, the price is good today. Everything must go. Come and buy your market now.
Bro, I told you I'll send it. Just give me time. My chest hurts. Help! Somebody help him.
Call ambulance!
My name is Tunde. I'm the first son of my family. In Nigeria, being the first son is not just a title. It's a responsibility. The responsibility to carry everyone, even when you are already breaking. My father died when I was 21. From that day, everything changed. School fees, house rent, hospital bills, food for my mother and my 2 younger sisters. Everyone looked at me like I had the answers. But the truth was, I had nothing. I worked 2 jobs, slept 3 hours a night. Still, it was never enough. That day in the market, the day I collapsed, it wasn't because I was sick. It was because I was tired of fighting. Tired of pretending everything was okay. But when I opened my eyes again, I realized something impossible had happened. The day I died in that market was the day my life actually started. When I looked at my phone, I thought it was broken.
No.
The date said 3 years ago. The same year my father died. The same year everything went wrong. At first I thought I was dreaming, but the man standing behind me told me something that changed everything.
Finally awake.
He said, "You have been given another chance. Another chance to fix the mistakes that destroyed your family." I didn't understand what he meant, but I was about to find out. Because the next thing he said was something that terrified me. He said, "Your father is going to die today." When I saw my father standing in front of me, my body froze. For 3 years, I had lived with the pain of losing him. I remembered the hospital room, the smell of medicine in the air, the quiet beeping of the machines, and the moment the doctor walked in and shook his head. That was the day my life changed forever. I became the man of the house overnight, the one everyone depended on, the one who was supposed to be strong, even when he was breaking inside. But now, somehow, I was standing in front of the same man who died 3 years ago. Alive, healthy, looking at me like nothing had ever happened. "Tunde, why are you staring at me like that?" he asked. I didn't know what to say. How do you explain to someone that you watch them die? How do you tell your own father that today is the day he is supposed to leave this world? My mind was racing. Was this a dream? Was I going crazy? Or did I really travel back in time? I looked at the calendar on the wall. The date confirmed it. This was the same day, the day my father died. My heart started beating faster. If this was really the past, then maybe I had been given a chance to stop what happened before, a chance to save my father. But saving him would not be easy, because the last time this happened, everything looked normal. My father woke up that morning just like any other day. He laughed. He joked. He even told my mother he felt strong. No one expected anything bad to happen, but by evening, he was gone. And now I was standing here again, living the same day, the same morning, the same house. The only difference was that this time, I knew what was coming. I promised myself something in that moment. No matter what it takes, I will not let my father die again. But deep down, something felt wrong. Because if I really came back in time, then someone or something sent me here. And people don't get second chances for free. There is always a price, and I was about to find out what that price was. Because later that day, something happened that proved one thing. My father's death was not an accident. That morning felt different. Everything looked normal. But inside my chest, my heart was racing. Because I knew something no one else knew. Today was the day my father was supposed to die. 3 years ago, this day started just like this. My father woke up early. He laughed with my mother in the kitchen. He even joked with my sisters before they left for school. No one believed anything was wrong. But I remembered what happened later that evening. The pain in his chest, the panic in my mother's voice, the rush to the hospital, and the moment everything went silent. That memory never left me. But this time, I had something I didn't have before. I had a warning. I watched my father carefully that morning, every movement, every breath, every word he spoke. "Why are you following me around like a bodyguard?" he laughed. I forced a smile, but inside I was terrified. Because I didn't know how he died. I only knew when it happened. Evening. That was when everything went wrong before. So I decided something. Today, my father was not leaving this house. If he stayed home, maybe nothing bad would happen. Maybe I could change the future. But the future is not easy to change. Around noon, my father grabbed his car keys. "I need to go to the shop," he said. My heart dropped. That was the same thing he said 3 years ago. The same words, the same moment. I stepped in front of the door. "Dad, please don't go today." He looked at me, confused. "Why?" I didn't have an answer. I couldn't tell him the truth. I couldn't say, "Because you're going to die." So I said the only thing I could think of. "I just have a bad feeling." My father stared at me for a few seconds. Then he smiled. "Tunde, nothing is going to happen." He placed his hand on my shoulder. "Stop worrying so much." Then he walked past me and opened the door. In that moment, I realized something terrifying. No matter what I did, the day was still moving exactly the same way it did before. And if nothing changed, then my father would still die tonight. But what I saw next made my blood run cold. Because parked across the street was a black car. And someone inside it was watching our house. When I saw the black car across the street, something inside me told me this was not normal. The car had been sitting there for a long time. The engine wasn't running. The windows were dark. And the person inside was watching our house. At first, I tried to ignore it. Maybe it was just someone visiting a neighbor. Maybe I was overthinking everything. But then something happened. The moment my father stepped outside, the car engine started. My heart skipped. The driver was waiting for him. Suddenly, everything felt wrong. 3 years ago, I thought my father died because of illness. The doctors said it was a heart attack. That was the story everyone believed. But now, seeing that car, watching that man, I began to wonder something terrifying. What if my father's death was not natural? What if someone planned it? My father started walking down the street toward his car. The black car slowly began to move. Not fast, just slowly, following him. My chest tightened. I knew I had to act. I ran outside. "Dad, wait!" My father turned around. "Tunde, what is it now?" I didn't answer. My eyes were locked on the black car. The driver was still there, watching, waiting. I walked closer to the street, and that's when something strange happened. The car door slowly opened. A man stepped out, tall, calm, and looking directly at me, like he already knew who I was. Then he said something that made my blood run cold. He looked at me and smiled. Then he said, "You weren't supposed to come back." The man stepped out of the black car and looked directly at me. His eyes were calm, too calm, like he had been waiting for this moment. My father didn't seem to notice anything strange. He simply continued walking toward his own car. But the man kept his eyes on me. Then he said something that made my heart stop. "You weren't supposed to come back." My mind went blank. Come back? How could he possibly know that? I had told no one, not my mother, not my friends, no one. Yet this stranger, standing beside that black car, was talking like he already knew everything. I stepped closer to him. "Who are you?" I asked. The man smiled slightly. Not a friendly smile. The kind of smile someone gives when they already know the ending of the story. "That's not the important question," he said. Then he pointed toward my father. "The important question is, how many times are you going to try to save him?" My chest tightened. How many times? What did he mean by that? This was the first time. At least, that's what I believed. The man walked closer to me. His voice became quieter. You think this is your second chance, he said, but you're wrong. My stomach dropped. What are you talking about? I asked. He leaned closer and whispered something that sent chills down my spine. This is not the first time you've come back. My heart started racing. That was impossible. I had never done this before, right? The man looked at his watch. You should focus, he said. Then he nodded toward my father again. Because if you remember correctly, he dies in a few hours. My blood ran cold. Before I could say anything else, the man turned around, got back inside the black car, and drove away, leaving me standing there with one terrifying thought in my mind. What if he was telling the truth? What if I had already tried to save my father before and failed? Because later that afternoon, something happened that proved one thing. The man in the black car wasn't guessing. He knew exactly what was going to happen.